Hey Michael, my name's Lloyd Chapman, President of the American Small Business League. You would like me, brother. I have 15 lawsuits against the federal government under the Freedom of Information Act. I've got 15 more I need to file. And I've exposed, I would have to say, trillions in fraud in federal small business contracting. I've been doing this now for over a decade. And I was going through my television the other day and I saw Capitalism: A Love Story. And I watched it for about the 10th time. I love that movie. And at the end of it, you know, you're calling on the audience to help you get involved in this fight. Well, I'm there, buddy. I'm in the fight. I'm suing the government every day. By the way, they don't like it. They don't like it. So, you know, you'll probably be getting a call from some government, press guy, maybe a conference call on a speakerphone with a bunch of people barking accusations against me. Not true. Look at the facts. So the facts are, in America today, according to the Census Bureau, 90% of all net new jobs come from small businesses. The Kauffman Foundation says 100% of all net new jobs have come from small businesses since 1980. Well, what that means is that large corporations haven't created one net new job since 1980. And yet the government spends 80–90% of our tax dollars with these companies that haven't created one net new job. Sounds like a bad idea to me. See, Congress realized that small businesses were the engine of economic growth in 1953 when they passed the Small Business Act. And today, federal law says 23% of all the contracts should go to small businesses. The actual federal acquisition budget, the annual budget for classified and unclassified contracts, is about $1 trillion. 23% is about $230 billion. If you look at a reasonable definition of a small business, which I think is 100 employees at most, since 98% of all U.S. firms have less than 100 employees, small businesses are getting maybe $30 billion. And reports like Report 515 talk about the diversion of federal small business contracts to large corporations as, quote, one of the largest challenges facing the SBA and the entire federal government today. So, Michael, I want you to help me bring attention to this issue. Number one, small business creates jobs in America, and they've got none of the stimulus money. They're not even getting the money they're supposed to get by law. What do you think about the government giving small business contracts to Finn Mechanic in Rome with 75,000 employees around the world and $30 billion in assets? Sound like a small business to you? How about British Aerospace and Rolls-Royce? Those are just some of the recipients of small business contracts. You probably can't name a Fortune 500 firm that haven't gotten small business contracts in the last decade. So I'm trying to stop that. And for that, the government, says I'm a conspiracy nut and a lunatic and my organization doesn't exist. They're just unhappy because I keep stomping them in federal court. Made their lawyers cry twice. That was fun. So help me. You want people to help you? Great. I'm on it. I got 15 lawsuits, been doing it for a decade. I've had stories in every major newspaper. I've done, radio shows all across the country. Probably we've done maybe 300. I've had stories in every major newspaper. You can pick up the phone and get more attention to this issue with one phone call than I've done in a decade. And we need to stop it. To me, the simplest, most cost-effective way to create jobs and stimulate the economy is to quit giving small business contracts to Fortune 500 firms. Make sure all that money goes to U.S. firms, to legitimate small businesses. My bill, the Fairness and Transparency in Contracting Act that Hank Johnson introduced for me, will do that. President Obama can issue an executive order based upon the language of the original Small Business Act, defines a small business as being independently owned, which means not publicly traded. If Obama issued an executive order tomorrow that says the federal government would no longer report awards to publicly traded companies as small business awards, that would immediately redirect $200 billion a year in existing infrastructure spending to the middle class. Free, easy, simple, no new taxes, no new spending, permanent solution to job creation, economic stimulus. I think it's perfect. Help me. These guys are on my back every day. So take a look at it, all right? Thanks, Michael.